Hey guys, welcome. This is going to be a little different now, okay? I want to talk about the upcoming elections in America, especially that of the Senate, elections. Because of course, you all know for the presidential elections, it's definitely going to be Kamala Harris, right? But I don't want to talk about that just yet. But I want to focus on just Maryland, the Senate race in Maryland. Because just in case for those of you that are not familiar with America's, legislative system, we have the Congress, which is the lower part of the House, and we have the Senate. The Senate elections, of course, every thing the House does has to go to the Senate for the Senate to have the final approval. So it's very important, and it's a very important race, especially, so that we can give the Democrats the majority that they need both in the Congress and that in the Senate as well, so that they can pass laws that would protect women's rights, and kids and all that stuff. But let us listen to Miss Angela Alsobrooks because she's contesting, and we have Larry Hogan, who was a former governor of Virginia. He's Republican, but of course I'm supporting Alsobrooks. I used to live in Peach County, even though I'm no longer in Prince George's County. But I've followed what Angela Alsobrooks has been doing over the years. I think she's doing a good job. Also, I'm going to clear, there's this advertisement that we've all seen on TV, and they're talking about, that's what they send to our phones every day. That is all they have against this lady. They've been accusing her of, claiming taxes for.
Tonight, Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks, who is running for a Maryland Senate seat, allegedly took advantage of tax breaks that she did not qualify for. This is according to a CNN investigation. It says the county executive claimed a Maryland homestead tax exemption on her Washington, D.C. property that she took over from her grandparents. However, it's only supposed to apply to someone's primary residence. The report states that the tax breaks saved her at least $16,000 since 2005.
Elderly, but she is clear that, and I'm going to play that for you so you can see that, because that is what they've been using. That is all they have on her. But you can imagine America voted for a president who says that it can grab women by their private parts. They are Americans who actually voted for that. But anyways, that is not the focus of our conversation, and they're still going to vote for him. But this is for the Senate for the state of Maryland, and I want every one of you guys, Africans, whites, blacks, Indian, Japanese, whatever it is. I think Angela Alsobrooks is the right person at this point in America's history that deserves, a seat in the Senate, so that they can pass laws that would benefit and make sense. Basically, protecting Roe versus Wade, the landmark law that saved women. That if they needed abortion, in cases of incest, rape and all that kind of stuff, if it is medically necessary and all of that. We know these are common sense laws, but the Republicans have made these laws very terrible. So let's listen to this debate that they had recently. I'm going to let you guys listen to their opening statements. But again, we're going to vote for Angela Alsobrooks. So everybody in Maryland, if you're listening to this video, for Senate, it's going to be Angela Alsobrooks. I'm going to differ with my sister on this one, Sister CF. I know she supports, Hogan, but that's fine, But I think I want to go with Alsobrooks. They're both, great candidates. But right now, with the way America is, with the political climate, and just how, discombobulated the Republican Party is, I think the right and the best person to go for would be Angela Alsobrooks. Okay, so let's listen to their opening statements, and we'll take it from there.
And now, of course, the candidates. Republican and former governor of Maryland, Larry Hogan, and Democrat and the current Prince George's County executive, Angela Alsobrooks. And with that, we begin with the debate. County Executive Alsobrooks has the first opening statement.
Well, thank you. Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank our host for having us tonight. I want to thank former Governor Hogan for being here as well, and for everyone for tuning in. I'm Angela Alsobrooks. I'm the proud Democratic nominee for United States Senate. Like many Marylanders, I'm also a member of the sandwich generation. I'm the proud mother of a 19-year-old daughter and the proud daughter of a retired receptionist and a newspaper deliveryman. I grew up in Maryland, and I spent my entire adult life in public service, beginning my career as a domestic violence prosecutor, where I stood up for our families and held violent offenders accountable. As the elected prosecutor, I also lowered violent crime by 50%. As county executive, I've been one of the top job creators in the state of Maryland. We've built 10 new schools and we're breaking ground on an additional 8. In the United States Senate, I will stand up for our values, creating economic opportunity for every Maryland family. I'll also fight for our freedoms, like a woman's right to choose, contraception, and IVF. I'll also fight to make sure that we are ending gun violence in America. I will work also to hand a majority to my friend and mentor, President Kamala Harris, to ensure that she will be successful and effective as President of the United States. Thank you so much, and I look forward to answering your questions.
Thank you very much. Governor Hogan, your opening statement.
Well, thank you, Chuck. And I want to thank Maryland Public Television, NBC, and its affiliates in Washington and Baltimore. It's a real pleasure to be here. I want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. And I just want to start by saying that I like and respect Angela Alsobrooks. We got a chance to work together while I was governor. We accomplished a great deal together for Prince George's County, and she's got a great life story. I just happen to believe that right now, the reason I'm stepping up to run is not to run against her or to try to defeat her. The reason I decided to run for governor, run for Senate, was the reason I ran for governor because I was frustrated with all the taxes and the unaffordability. I decided to step up to run for Senate. It was because I had never been more concerned about the direction of our country. What we see today is nothing but divisiveness and dysfunction in Washington, where nothing ever seems to get done. Our country is being torn apart by the extreme voices on both sides. We're not going to solve any of the terrible problems facing the country with more partisanship and one more party line vote, or just continuing to do the same thing that we've always done. The only way we're going to make a difference if we can find strong, independent leaders who are willing to stand up to both parties and try to bring about common sense bipartisan solutions, which is exactly what I delivered for 8 years as governor.
All right, let's get the debate started. I want to start with your both of you.
All right, guys. So you've listened to the opening statement of both candidates. Of course, Hogan, was a former, governor, definitely respects Miss Alsobrooks. I mean, he made it very clear. That tells you everything that you need to know about the kind of person that she is and how effective she has been in her role as a county executive, basically, So that's very important. And I like, the sportsman spirit there of former Governor Hogan, of the state of Virginia. But Ms. Alsobrooks, you guys heard, she is the prime of this my life. This is why I'm doing this video, because I want to sell her to you so you can see exactly who she is and what she has stood for. And of course, she's a lawyer, just in case if you don't know. But they are very humble. If you didn't hear her talk anything about her education and none of that stuff. But she's been working for the poor, working for the disadvantaged in our communities, and I think she deserves a shot. She walked her way through the ladder and up to this point where she's at today. And not just because she's a woman, that's not why I'm supporting her. It is the fact that, of course, she has made her way up till this point, and she has proven herself time and time again with all the positions that they've given her. I want to show you guys something real quick before I even play the video that I talked about that they've been accusing her of, getting some tax exemptions that she didn't deserve. I want to show
your
you
political
that
identities, Ms. Alsobrooks.
Let's watch this video together real quick, okay? I want you guys to see this. Listen to this.
Good news is that all of our approvals, the MOU has been signed now, even by the county council. Prince George's County has put forward the most aggressive school construction program in the country, a private-public partnership that allowed us over just the last 3 years to have broken ground on 6 new schools that we have opened now, combined with another 4. So we have 10 schools that we have opened over the last 3 to 4 years, and we're really excited. In the next month, we're going to be breaking ground on an additional 8 new schools for a grand total of 18 new schools in a 6-year period. This is a transformational program that is the only one of its kind in the state and one of its kind in the country to have helped us to build a first-class, state-of-the-art schools for our students.
And when will those new schools, once the ground is broken and they're built, when will they be available for students to take classes?
You know what? They come up pretty quickly. So in the next year and a half, 2 years, we'll be able to have our students in those schools. These are also green schools. So we're leading in that regard in terms of the build out. This is a $700 million program where 35% is spent also on local and minority businesses. So it also helps greatly with our business community. So this is a win-win. We are very excited to have our kids in these schools. We had an $8.5 billion backlog that we were working to resolve, and 18 new schools in a 6-year period is certainly taking us a long way toward resolving those issues.
How does having new facilities facilitate kids getting educated and graduating?
Well, you know what I have to tell you, our kids deserve to learn in facilities that respect their dignity. One of the most heartbreaking things that happened is we were opening one of our new schools last year. I went to Hyattsville Middle School, and I said to one of the kids, "Oh my God, how exciting is this? How do you feel?" And they said, "You know, we're really glad because the bathrooms are nice." You know, that's the least we can do for our kids, is to provide facilities that not only have the technologies of the day that provide the forward-leaning instruction that we need, but our kids deserve to be in facilities that befit their dignity, that make them feel good to come to school every day. It makes a huge difference, not only for our students, but for their teachers and educators and everyone in those buildings who deserve the kinds of facilities that speak to their possibility and speak to our confidence in their future.
That is beautiful. I mean, you guys have heard that, right? So it speaks to who she is and what she has been able to accomplish over the years. She's blessing millions of lives. I don't live in PG County no more, so I can only imagine, what she's doing over there. I live in Charles County, where things are a little bit better because it's a newer county. I wouldn't say newer, but at least it's up and growing. PG has been established a very long time, as well. But anyways, Miss Alsobrooks is contesting for the Senate elections, and I think when you go to vote this year in November, early voting is coming. If you are one of my African brothers and sisters, she is the person to vote for Senate, Maryland, Senate. The Senate vote goes for Angela Alsobrooks. I'm sure you've seen all the signs across the way, everywhere you're driving between Prince George's County and Charles County and Montgomery County, all over the counties, right? Across Maryland. You could see flyers out there. She's been doing a phenomenal work, Personally, over the years, I remember when I was helping our sister, Siafina, who wanted to at least contest elections for Maryland House of Representatives. I remember those times. I had my eyes on Miss Alsobrooks at the time. I think that was when she was contesting for executive, but I didn't pay much attention to her campaigns anyways. But this time, I'm really, it's very important. We have to get her where she belongs, and, so she can help to bring more benefits to our communities. You guys see in the schools that she's 18 schools in 6 years. I mean, come on, guys. This is a no-brainer. But I want to take you guys to the question that has to do with this tax thing that they've been talking about. All right, that they've been accusing her all over TV. You guys see that. I want to play that for you so you all can see that, and then we can all be on the same page. But this is the whole thing they talk about. Angela Alsobrooks, she was investigated for taxes. She's going to answer that question. I want you to listen to this just so we can lay that to rest, and everybody can go about their happy lucky days, right? So make sure you go vote for Miss Angela Alsobrooks. But listen to this video. This clears everything out.
That aren't going to just do exactly what the party bosses tell them to do.
Thank you. Tracy has the next question.
Yes, Ms. Alsobrooks, Mr. Hogan and his allies have attacked you for claiming tax credits you were ineligible to receive, including one meant for seniors. And your opponents argue that those tax credits you claimed make you untrustworthy for Maryland voters. What is your response?
First of all, thank you so much for asking the question and giving me a chance to clear it up. I have always paid my taxes, always. And I also stood up for my grandmother. When she needed to leave her house, I took over her mortgage. I paid her mortgage until I sold the house about 6 years ago and never knew that she had a senior tax credit because I never applied for one. When I learned about it, I reached out to the DC government, and I have paid back the amount of that tax credit, and I'm working to pay off the interest. But I thank you so much for asking that question.
Mr. Hogan, your response, why should this matter to voters?
Well, I'm not sure it should matter. I think that the county executive Alsobrooks has said that she didn't apply for the tax credit. She said that she paid off a grandmother's mortgage, and but she also took out her own mortgages, and swore and attested on those documents that it was going to be her primary residence, which it wasn't. And she did get a tax break that was meant for low-income seniors, and she's not a low-income senior, and it was a rental property. It was not her personal residence. So I don't know that people should make a decision based on that. I just think she ought to have the opportunity to explain herself.
Ms. Alsobrooks, just to clarify, I'll give you 30 seconds. Is it all paid back? You said you're working to pay back.
I paid back the amount of the tax credit when I was notified that I got a tax credit. Again, I never applied for the tax credit, was never even notified that I had the tax credit. But when I learned about it, I paid back the amount of the tax credit, and I'm working to pay off the interest.
All right, guys. So I just want to lay that bare, right? Just in case some of you might have seen that advertisement, that goes on TV, and if you watch YouTube videos, it pops up. Oh, Angela Alsobrooks has been investigated for tax, claims that she did that she didn't deserve to have, and this and that, right? So that has been cleared. I just want to play that for you, but I want to share this to my brothers and sisters in the African community here. She's the person to go for. All right, for Senate. Remember, Hogan. He's just being used so that the Republicans can have a majority in the Senate, so that they can pass all kinds of terrible laws that are going to infringe upon your basic fundamental human rights. So stay with Miss Angela Alsobrooks so we can give the Democrats and give President-to-be Kamala Harris the victory that she deserves. All right? That is what we're looking for. So everybody go out there and vote. Make sure you vote. Don't stay home and not vote. Use your rights. It's your voting rights. You deserve to... for your voice to be heard. Don't stay home and just let it go. These Trump voters are going to turn out in droves. They're going to turn out in massive numbers. So we got to come strong, all right? But yes, Miss Angela Alsobrooks is the person to vote for.